Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another Friday SitRep. As many of you already know, it is a huge day here at Brickmania. We have several new releases, not the least of which being the V22 Osprey, which is finally back in the Brickmania lineup. So let's dive in, take a look. All right, Brickmaniacs, you knew where we were going to start this week. There was pretty much only one direction to go, and to call this a big release just almost doesn't quite do it justice. The return of the Bell Boeing V22 Osprey designed by Dan. So we got him in studio here. As you can see from this model, we do have some of the prototype printed parts that Slam has been experimenting with.
Right.
So let's dive on in and take a look at this beast.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to say that this is a relaunch of a kit that we've done previously. Cody used to work here, did the original version. And we had to stop because of licensing issues. We waited, and then we're able to get the license to officially re-release it. Many years have gone by. Lots of updates have happened in techniques and parts and stuff. So it's almost a complete redesign from the previous version. A couple things were kept that were really good, but it's just the basis of this, almost a complete rebuild.
And not to mention the expanded print capacity here at Brickmania has really brought a lot of cool greebles to this.
Yeah, there's been new elements, new print capacity. So things that were stickers on the previous version, of course, are all printed now.
Yeah.
It is a MV22 Osprey, so it is the Marine version of it. We're going to do a couple of batches of this before we switch over production to do the Air Force and the Navy versions too. So this is just the beginning. It has all the features you'd expect. It does have the tilt rotor. So let's show you that these rotors are connected. So when we're flying or doing our practice runs, they do operate. And maybe you've seen that some of the videos I post on Instagram. This is easily motorized. It doesn't come with the motor, but if you get the XL, the biggest power functions motor, you can just plug it right in.
Sweet.
And it's ready. It's ready to go. You don't have to buy any extra pieces. Just have to provide your own motor. So it's ready to go.
Well, and I think the most shocking part of the reveal too was just how you kept that play function and got the new dihedral swoop into the wings. That's what everybody wanted to see.
Show that off.
Yeah.
So I also want to just give a little a shout out to David Stone. He's an actual Osprey pilot and a Lego aficionado. So he contacted me early in this process, and we had together kind of collaborated and said, here's some of the things that we want to change. I built a number of these things of the original kit just to have on the Macon Island.
Yeah.
And as I was building that, I was like, these are things that I think that need to be, and then actually moved them around. We've done several shows, and the doors always fall off, and it's not like a criticism of the previous model.
Right.
We didn't know. And you don't know these problem areas until you actually handle them in the field, move them around enough and go, hey, I think that this area needs improvement. All those things. Made a big long checklist of things that wanted to be improved. David really helped. He did the same thing, and we compared notes and came up with some new designs. And the wing is completely rebuilt.
Yeah.
The one thing with the old design is the wings would sag over time. If you folded it up, they would actually knock all the greebles off, the antennas off the roof. So that's all been solved with this new design. So as you can see, the wing is smooth. It still has the right shape. It's still kind of angled forward. These nacelles on the front here are angled forward. You do have the feature that you can rotate these down. Of course, you can't do that while it's on the deck because you have this problem here. But they do have fully functionable. The nacelle, engine nacelles will rotate. You still have this connected engines, and then you have of course the flaps, the ailerons that do completely fold the way they're supposed to. The wing itself, let's just pop this off here, and you can fold it up. So if you wanted to stow it just like you were doing, like you do on a real aircraft carrier on the flight deck, you could bend all these things the way they're supposed to go. Actually want them to stay straight. You do something like this, fold them up.
You can see some of those printing details already on the props there.
Let me get this folded just one more notch. Push this forward. This is how they would be stowed on the real aircraft.
Right.
There's a little holder here that you can deploy to hold these things up. Oops, and I'd break it off, of course. I can't really see what I'm doing because of the angle that I'm working at here, so bear with me. So this is how they would stow it on the real aircraft carrier. on an aircraft carrier flight deck. This piece just snaps on. It's just a cover for the front.
Right.
You have to take that off in order to rotate it and lock it into place. But as you can see, it does fold up the way it's supposed to. This is how they would have them stowed on the flight deck, in the hangar under the flight deck, something like that. Can always, the blades are completely deployable, just like on the real thing. Mm-hmm. So, fun little play feature. That's sort of necessary. Everything that Cody had done originally that I liked, all the features that made this such a good model, kept into the model.
Yeah.
But then added so much more. Some of it was, again, David Stone adding, giving me some pointers like these are some cool details I think that weren't on the original, and only somebody who really operates this thing.
Right. What a cool resource to have in your corner. I mean, that beats any research book you're going to pull out of the library.
Putting all the lights in the right place, things like that. That's just stuff that we can only guess at in pictures. We're not operators. We're modelers. We try to guess at all this stuff. We try to get as much research as possible. Cool. Of course, some things are secret, and they're not exactly forthcoming with information.
Right.
But one thing we did add is the lights on the prop tips. There's a green light on each tip. We unfortunately can't make them light up, but that would be sweet. So now that you've seen, you've seen this is the basic components of it. I got to pull this off here. We'll just
there we go. Aside.
Okay. It's gonna tip, but the aircraft still opens up just like the previous version did.
Cool.
And we fully detailed the interior. So the last one came with a growler vehicle and a mortar. Took that out in favor of putting in the full crew. So the full crew of the Osprey would be four crewmen. The previous version, it only came with 3. Awesome. So we did make it fully detailed interior. It's a little hard to see from here, but there's little benches that fold down on the interior, just like the real one. All the way down the side.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
There's a bench. The guys will sit on it. You can have your crew of your Marines inside there sitting on the deck. Let me pull the cockpit out of here. We did some more printing on the inside. So what you're looking at, the cockpit. And Slam just before we came and did this video printed me some more cockpit pieces. So we added some more printed details on the inside. The original didn't have. The figures that are in here, of course, these are 2. I actually destroyed one of the original Ospreys in order to make this prototype. So those are the original.
Old crew,
yeah. Those are the original. I don't have the other 2, but you do have other details inside. Will be there's some more printed panels. There's a life raft, and in the back here, let me open the ramp up. So you gotta push that one up. We do have the M240 now on the ramp, which we didn't have before. Of course, if you're going to be rolling a vehicle down the ramp, you can't put the gun on.
Yep, got to dismount.
Yeah, so there is a ramp gun, and you will get the proper crew to do the ramp gun. You have it manned. Totally new landing gear coverage. Actually, totally new landing gear altogether. Okay. Strengthened. That was kind of a collaboration between me and David. We both came up with various components of this new design. Different rudders on the back, different aileron elevator in the back here.
I love that. So those are stickers on the back there, right?
Only the unit numbers.
Oh, nice.
So
all
the death dealer on there, that is actually printed. So we were going to do, it was going to be a sticker, so you could have all stickered units, so we could actually replace, but we decided that we couldn't get the death dealer sticker to look good enough. Mm-hmm. So you are going to get the death dealer, this Frazetta
that looks cool.
Designed or inspired death dealer logo. So that's on both sides. It's actually you get 2 sets. They are on different pieces, so they're not interchangeable. Mm-hmm. You do have a left and a right side. The numbers, the unit numbers, and the tail numbers, those are stickers. So you will be able to, when you buy the model, you will get more than 1 set of stickers.
Love
so you
it.
could actually make, I think it's 6 different aircrafts, maybe 5 different tail numbers. So if you bought more than 1, or if you don't want to have them all the same, you'll be able to switch up your numbers.
That's awesome.
So
that's
awesome.
awesome.
A sticker, and same with this one. Unfortunately, is also a sticker. The unit number above that on the real one will say Marines. Of course, it'll be printed.
Nice.
So this has a lot of the printing. It doesn't have all of the printing.
Yep.
So Slam was working. He has other models that are due this week too. So
we kind of stole it from him.
Yeah,
he come down and shoot this video.
He was still working on it, but we took it. He's working on the Super Huey now. That's also going to be coming out this weekend. So, that's it. This is sort of the quintessential. It's sturdy. It's got great play features. I think we're going to be doing 2 batches of the Marines before we move on to doing the Air Force version. So this is going to be around just for a little while. So if you're thinking about buying it, don't wait too long, because you'll get one chance right now when this comes out, and then another chance in a month or 2 down the road. And then we don't know when we're going to be able to do another Marine Corps batch. We're going to be switching gears. These are expensive models. We're officially licensed, which makes it even more complicated. So we're going to start working on the next version as soon as this one goes. First batch is done. We're going to move on to start working on the Air Force version, and then of course we'll be releasing that sometime later in 2022.
And we just keep going from there. Lots to get to. But hey, Brick Maniacs, how about this? The freaking Bell Boeing V22 Osprey is back on brickmania.com and available for pre-order right now. You got the rundown here from Dan. We'll make sure to check in with this thing. We'll make sure to check in with this thing when we do have a completed model, because obviously we know a lot of people are excited to see this back on brickmania.com. But for now, Dan, thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
All right, and for our next check-in, we're turning things over to Homefront Bricks, taking a look at the UH-1 Huey designed by Mary Wilson. And you got to use some color. We got another Huey in the lineup, but it's not one that's all dark bluish gray. This one looks really, really cool, and we've even got some of the prototype printed elements on there by Slam. So Mary, tell us a little bit more about this design.
Yeah, so this is my first time working on a helicopter. Super exciting. And it has an awesome paint job, like you said. It is very similar to Dan's Huey, based off of like the same core. But I got to play around with, like this nice brick built stripe in there. It is a like fire rescue or fire.
Cal Fire specifically, right? Yeah, cool.
Helicopter, so it has a lot of color and which was really fun. Basically, like the main difference is, like the Super Huey is, like kind of a souped up version of the Huey, but like for the exterior things that you can see, one of the most interesting things is this tank in the bottom. And so this tank is like several hundred gallons of water, and this hose comes down and can fill it within like 20 seconds.
Holy
so you can like see the videos of them. They'll just like hover and like go down, and they're like, okay, goodbye, and like that's it, which is like really incredible. So it got this tank on the bottom. Slam has like he got all these done today. Did an incredible job with all of the prints. But it's like fire attack on the bottom, and like we chose like number 106. That's the one I based it off of, and like they really put 106 on like every possible surface. So it's like on the top of it, and like on each side, and like the doors, and just like the nose of it. So it's really decked out in the number specifically. Some other features. It's got like a fully printed dashboard in there, and then so it can fit. I haven't tried to fit more than 6 minifigs in here, but I believe that's like around the crew that they would take out. So
how many does it come with?
It comes with 4.
Comes with 4. Okay,
yes.
Sweet.
And Drew is designing those minifigs, and it's one pilot that's in just more like a pilot's uniform, and then the other 3 are more like the protective, like bright yellow, like fireman outfits. And they all got these like really cool like helmets with like a red chevron on it.
Oh, cool.
It's exciting.
Check out the website for those renders.
Yeah. Like other than that, like you can see it's like, I just think it's really fun. I had a really fun time working on it. All the different colors, and just like I found so many pictures of this, so I tried to fit in all the details that I could for like all of like just like everything going on. Like there's like little mirrors in the bottom, because these are like windows, so like they have like reverse mirrors, and then they also have like loudspeakers. So like the difference between like this and the other one is like obviously this doesn't have like the door gunners.
Right, exactly.
But it does have like loudspeaker, and then like the tank and the hose, of course, which you can like hook on in the back, so you can put it on the ground. And it's just like, I don't know, really fun.
Well, that's a lot to add to a
enjoys
design. Yeah, that's cool. Very, very unique, and a cool addition for Homefront Bricks as we kind of continue that like firefighting theme that we have going on this year. So, and obviously, like I said, who doesn't like to see a Huey done up in these kind of colors and with all of this awesome printing? It just looks sweet. And then as you can see, all the play features are still there, everything that you expect, plus some new ones added in by Mary, because that's a cool, a loudspeaker and a giant hose from the bottom of a Huey. That's kind of a unique ask when it's saying build this model. So there you have it, available right now on brickmania.com for pre-order. Mary, thanks for checking in. All right, next up I have Dan and Lando joining me for a special release. This is the California Highway Patrolman Duo, which has kind of a cool story behind it, so I have both of them joining me here to talk a little bit more about this. First thing I noticed is those awesome windshields, so let's start there and get into the breakdown of this model.
Well, the windshields are custom made. These are custom designed. It's by the guy who's actually not here right now. So Slam did the printing on the motorcycle, including that windshield, and the windshield itself is actually custom cut out of acrylic sheet. So,
Cool.
and also that means I should actually give everybody the caveat that don't bend that thing because it's acrylic sheet. It's not as durable as the plastic that like the Lego parts are printed. So we did custom cut that out of acrylic and then printed it. And the print is actually printed so it's reversible. If you flip it around, you see the back of the lights.
Oh.
Yeah, instead of the front. So you're not seeing red dots on the back of the windscreen. But it was a pretty amazing print. I think there's 5 layers of printing on there to get that to come out just right. Yeah, it's a little weird because of the surface we're working on here.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Just lean him to
I
the
broke
left.
the kickstand.
Lean
Okay.
him to the left. Yeah, it's just he wants because of the because of the surface
Right.
we're using. They don't want to stay up.
I like it's kind of that throwback, right, to that classic Lego motorcycle windshield.
Oh my goodness!
So
Yeah. This is. I mean,
you just can't really get a hold of those at a good.
These are 80s motorcycles,
Yeah.
70s motorcycles with 70s looking Lego windscreen. Yeah, there's a Lego motorcycle from back when I was a kid. I mean, like I was like 8, 9, 10 years old when they came out with this motorcycle. And they had this windscreen on it. It was just for like the motorcycle cop.
Yeah.
I think we looked it up. It's worth like $25
Yeah.
just for the windscreen.
Maybe not.
So we said, okay, we're going to make our own, and that's how we ended up with this acrylic. We have this laser cutter, and we hardly ever use it for anything.
Right. Perfect application.
Light went off, the light bulb went off, and said, hey, we know how to make these things. So right now we're only selling it as part of the set because it's not exactly, that's kind of complicated with the printing and everything. And so, but yeah, you got 2 motorcycles. If you've had any of our previous motorcycles, you'll notice the similarity in the design. The DAC Messenger, it's a similar bike, it's not the same. This is a slightly newer motorcycle, so it's a 70s motorcycle. I think they were Kawasaki's. Kawasaki KZ1000, like police interceptor motorcycle. And Kawasaki still makes police motorcycles to this day. But that's what they're using in the 70s, the California Highway Patrol, and then famously in the TV show based on that. And that's what this is based on. So, I should just say, Lando will go over the figure a little bit more, but the names of the guys on the figure were modeled after myself and one of my childhood friends.
That's so cool.
When we were kids, we put like playing cards in our smoke to clothespin, so we drive around and our bikes would go brrrr as we rode, and we pretended we were Ponch and John from the TV show. and the irony, like when we grow up, we're gonna be do this. So my life, I went a completely different way. I went into the music business, was playing in bands. He actually, after he was in the Army, went to California and joined the California Highway Patrol as a motorcycle patrolman.
He did it.
And he was stationed at the station in LA where the TV show was filmed. And they did the reunion, I think it was like 2011 or something. I don't know, sometime in the kind of distant past, not too distant past, that they did a reunion episode or a movie, and he was actually at the station working when they did that. So our names are on here. I was obviously never in the California Highway Patrol, but the other officer was.
Yeah, that's a cool inside little story there.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought,
Yeah.
All those years.
So when we were kids, this is what we were like playing, and as in real life, we were we'd ride around the block, and who knows what, we'd go rescue a lion. The lion would escape the zoo, and we'd go rescue it or something.
There we go.
So, because that's what we did when we were kids.
Yeah. You want me to go over the minifigures?
Yeah, go ahead and grab it.
More from the art side of things.
You want me to pull one of these guys off?
Yeah, please.
It's gonna rip the motorcycle apart. It always takes.
Is the minifigure structural to the motorcycle?
No, it is not. But
Okay.
But his hand grip is the hand grip is stronger than the stud that holds the handlebars on. So
Okay.
You can have that one.
All right.
So there you go.
This is, I think overall this is a nice, clean, simple uniform. Based off obviously that 70s, 80s California Highway Patrol.
Right, and they still even look like that pretty much to this day.
Like it's like they're wearing like riding boots. We hit it with a nice gloss finish on some of the key elements there, just really to make it just like shiny and just this is a crisp, pristine uniform. it was fun, doing research for this minifigure and just seeing how, like, even with this simple uniform, you can kind of get a lot of detail out of it. I guess in particular, the pistol belt, there's kind of that simulated like basket weave
it's
leather.
Texture.
Yeah. So it's got this just like
an old belt.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's engraved. It's a kind of like engraved or embossed into the leather.
So, some police officers should explain to us why they always traditionally wear that fake weaved belt.
I don't know. Yeah. Is there a reasoning for it?
I don't know.
Find out in the comments.
Because it's not like an actual weave. It's like engraved into the leather.
It's stamped and it's tooled into the leather.
Yeah. We got the nightstick for keeping the.
I think the technical term for that is the beaten stick.
The beaten stick, is that the technical term?
You get one you actually get one on the bike too.
Yes.
When they're riding the bike, there is a spot where the nightstick goes.
Yeah.
so he's got two. He's got a minifig scaled one.
Yep.
On his side, and then there's the one that's on the motorcycle. That's larger than life.
Yes. Other side, you got the holster. Is that a 45?
It's probably a 38.
38.
I wouldn't know because I wasn't in the California.
I have this all written down.
But I'm sure somebody would tell us.
I have it all written down, and then it's just like a couple weeks go by, and then whatever. Yeah. I have it somewhere. And yeah. Some nice pouches, handcuff pouches, extra ammunition. Of course, it's like a revolver, so you get little like different shaped, obviously, ammunition pouches compared to like modern day like pistols, right? With the like clips.
Well, they still see a lot of service revolvers out there in the field.
Sure. Patches on the arms, some nice detailing there. Of course, that badge with the we hit that with the gloss texture to just really give it that extra shine to that.
Ponchos, patches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, how about the helmet?
Yeah, and a helmet. So that's just a stock Lego helmet. And then, so we opted to, so we were trying to make this like gold texture work a little bit beyond our scope of like the printers. We're not quite, capable of that yet.
Other than actually masking each individual helmet and then spray painting or something. We could not get the helmet.
The actual helmet is this gold tone with this blue tone on the front, and then there's a gold band. And it's like, we started with a stock Lego black and white helmet. So it's like, maybe let's just start with this blue band on the front. I think it turned out really sharp looking. And had I not said anything, half you wouldn't even notice if there wasn't a gold thing, so whatever. Oh yeah, hey, where's the gold helmet? No, the front, I love how that blue faded in, because when we're dealing with a UV printer, the printing can fade off towards the outside. So rather than,
especially when it's curved.
Yeah, especially when it's curved. The further away from the print head, the more it fades out. So we're kind of, I actually worked a little bit with that art file and created it dissipates a little bit intentionally.
Right, it's a new printing technique.
Yeah, and it fades to the black, and it's a lot more of a natural cutoff than just sort of seeing that primer edge just exposed more. So this just kind of makes it look a bit more clean. So
and our lawyer wanted to point out that it's not a real. It's not the CHP you think. It's the Catalina Highway Patrol, which is denoted by the white helmet. As
the white
helmet,
helmet, exactly. Completely different uniform. Not even. I don't even think it's in the same state.
No, Catalina. That's
distinct.
Yeah.
Catalina.
Catalina.
Okay. Yes. I hadn't heard that one.
The Cauliflower Highway Patrol.
Cauliflower. Okay, yeah. I think that's it for the minifigure.
Yeah, there are other printed pieces. So besides on the motorcycle itself, you do have this windscreen. Obviously, is the highlight, but you do have the printing on the side of the tank, the side of the bag, on left and right side. So each motorcycle has 5 printed elements on it.
No.
You have the tail light. You do have all sorts of other details that are on here. The antenna for the radio. This black box on the back is actually the radio for the motorcycle.
When I was looking through the parts list, it groups it according to like minifigure elements, and I saw like this is like the minifigure sword.
That's a saber.
Yeah, the saber, and I was like, why is there going to be a saber in this motorcycle? Yeah.
Well,
the antenna.
And a lance.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, back in the 70s, they it was kind of medieval out there in the streets. Just
jousting.
before your time, you don't remember, but man,
jousting?
those are the mean streets of 1970s.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. The CHP motorcycle duo, No Lego City, from here on out will be complete without a pair of them to patrol the streets and, maybe pull somebody out of the river. But there you have
Pull
it.
someone out of the river.
Available right now on brickmania.com. Guys, thanks for checking in. All right, moving on from there, we have 2 new minifigures releasing this week as well, both of them designed by Lando, so he's joining me to break them down a little bit. One of them is the World War II U.S. Navy Sailor. The other one is Doris Miller, which if you know Doris Miller, you'd know that they received the Navy Cross, which is one of the higher medals in the U.S. military to receive. And they also are being, or they're the most recent supercarrier that's being built is named after them as well. So obviously playing a significant role, especially during Pearl Harbor. In World War II. So now we have this commemorative minifig and Landon here to go over all the details.
Absolutely. Yeah. First off, I'm just really liking the simple uniform and the story, obviously, behind all this. Just a cook in the Navy, and when the calling came, he's right into action, manning that machine gun.
Talk about rising to the occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's a cool story. Definitely, I can't do justice to it. So just read up on that. If you're not familiar with it. So I'm glad we got a chance to kind of pay homage to this hero of World War II. So again, simple uniform.
Subtle details.
Yeah, there's a lot of subtle details. A reworking of some fabric on the legs there to try to kind of capture that flow of how the fabric kind of behaves on just like on a leg and on a uniform. So simple stuff. Cool story. Of course, we got that Navy Cross there on the uniform. Some famous pictures of him receiving that as well. Check that out. Brand new cap, yeah. The Dixie Cup, right? I guess that debuted on some previous Sailors before, or a similar one did.
Right.
Yeah. But it's still
good to point out.
It's still new. It's still new, made in house. The Lego has one. It's got a little sail, like a little anchor on it, and it's kind of cute, but this one I think is a little bit more accurate to what it was. So, yeah, make sure to pick this guy up. We actually have a mosaic of him at the GHQ, right? Is that the GHQ? We've made a mosaic of it. I think it's in Chicago. Or is it in Chicago?
I believe
Check
it's
it
in
out.
Chicago right now. Go to both stores and then you'll
go
know.
To both and let me know, because I don't remember. Yeah, that one turned out nice.
So moving on is the World War II U.S. Sailor, which, as you guys know, our December month theme is kind of a combination between Homefront and 1941, so that would be the reason for this release here.
Yes, kind of a stern-looking face. I wasn't sure exactly who to base this guy off of. He's not necessarily specifically off anybody. He's meant for kind of a general sailor here, or just a basic sailor or whatever in his working uniform. The face, sometimes I'll try to just get some inspiration materials. I found a comic from the 1930s. It was like Don Winslow of the Navy or something, and it's a super 1930s comic. It's probably not as exciting by today's standards. I think he appeared with Shazam one time.
I think that's some pretty epic source material. Yes,
so
that's
out
awesome.
with Shazam, so that kind of it's like that's the era of. Anyways, Don Winslow of the Navy. So we were joking about that at the office. This is stern face. Anyways. The uniform, I like the dungarees. It's got that denim, those jeans. Really
similar to the CB.
Yeah, really iconic. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the exact same uniform.
Yeah.
I think it is. Really iconic uniform. It's those denim dungarees, and you have that chambray top, kind of working uniform. So that's a kind of a different denim kind of material as well. And I have that. Both of them have a simulated fabric texture on them. So with the top, that's got a little bit of a white tinting to it, and or like a little white texture to it. And then the jeans have a little bit of a shading kind of denim texture to them as well. A subtle detail to kind of shift it into the correct, historically correct look to it. On the back, you have a little bit of printing that's kind of usually. Sometimes you'd see their names on there, or the ship, or just different designations on their back.
Sure.
Not always, but I thought it was an interesting detail to have that on there. And I actually have a little bit of distressing going on there, so it's not
clearly legible.
Yeah. So sometimes when you have too legible of a name, then it's like, oh, every single guy is exactly the same. I think I wanted this to look a little bit more natural, so that if you wanted to switch out the faces, you could have a bigger crew and just build up your army that way. So,
well, it's very much one of those figures that, first of all, has not been present in the Brickmania minifig arsenal for a minute, and then secondly, who needs just one?
Right. You got to pick up a handful of these guys.
It's definitely a crew builder.
And you could, so Will has some ammo pouches as well that I think would fit for this guy if you want to kind of transform him more into a a CB kind of like land-based kind of thing, and get a combat helmet, like a steel pot helmet. You could throw on. Lego makes like an old like life vest thing that would work for like battle stations. We sell a sticker pack that also could. You might not want to put a sticker over this, but who knows? Whatever. Maybe
Says
you
the guy designing the artwork.
you don't cover up the art. Yeah.
I don't blame him.
And then you have the, of course, back to that in-house. We printed this in-house, designed this in-house. The Dixie Cup Sailor hat. And I just think that really just captures that look very nicely.
Absolutely epic. Both minifigures now available on brickmania.com. Landon, thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
All right, so that'll just about do it for the Friday SitRep. Couple of notes from me though. Hashtag giveaways are back on social media starting this Saturday. Make sure to tune in on Saturday morning. We'll have a post there that'll kind of explain a little bit more about how that's going to work, as well as announcing that weekend's theme. And then you can get a chance to win some kind of exclusive randos, and then that Wunderwaffe crate along with the Horde Leader coming up on Christmas weekend. In addition to that, on Tuesday, December 7th, submissions close for our 1941 mock contest. We have announced the prize, the grand prize at least, I think, for that. On Monday, we will go over all of the prizes, etc., just kind of how it breaks down on that tiered level. So make sure to tune into the Monday SitRep for that information as well. Otherwise, that will do it for me here on a Friday. Thank you very much for watching.